Did you pray today? Did you pray today? Cause
No,
if you didn't, I'ma have to dig you down on some gangster shit.
Oh, you thought I was done?
That's too good! That was too good!
It's good to be back. Back I am. I'm so back. What's gonna be the topic of this video, huh? Well, if you've been looking at the community post and not living under a rock, then you'll probably know what I'm doing. Y'all, how do I properly model bird wings? If Sucker's awake, this question is mostly directed to her since she's the expert and I get lost in my ways of modeling and mimicking her modeling processes.
You are an idiot! You are an idiot!
Yeah, DC2 models are not easy. This is why so many of my models that I plan to make, they just never end up being finished by me because I get too demotivated or I'm too lazy to finish them. I also didn't make a script for this video. The poll only said if I should, not that I had to. So now either way, you're gonna hear me make up some random bullshit anyways. Bullshitting aside, let's get to the topic of this video. As you probably know, there's something called the Sky Hybrid Wars. It's pretty plain and simple. You just make a hybrid, submit it, and then Zane Reborn 2, the host of this hybrid war, will review your hybrid your hybrid, and he will rank it based on how well it would do against his team. However, there are a few ground rules. Sky rules. Rule number 1, real animals only. This one is pretty straightforward. Rule 2, the final result must fly or glide. Again, pretty straightforward. Rule 3, no copycats. What he means by this is, let's say you use generative AI to make your art and you call yourself an artist and say that art is yours. That art is not yours because generative AI steals other people's works. Just like how if you tried to freaking copy paste Maggie, Vault, or some other person's hybrid. Yeah, that's copycatting. Rule 4 is be respectful, which, don't worry Zane, I will. This event is going to be fun, and I'm going to add to it. Rule 4, fly. Rule 5 is that flocks and swarms are allowed, and if it weren't already obvious from the picture on the screen, small hybrids max out 4 to 5, medium hybrids max out 2 to 4, and large hybrids max out at 2 to 1. If there's mixed sizes, then you can decide what's fair, which, yeah, I did decide what's fair. I'm gonna have 2 hybrids and they're mixed sizes. Make sure there's a reason why your hybrids cooperate. Maggie and Vault are social animals who are raised together and, yeah, that's the same for my hybrids. As for how to submit the hybrid, you must include hybrid name, team name, your name, list of contributors and what they add, artwork with colors, side profile shot, standing and flying, statistics, and and a size comparison with a human. I'm gonna do way more than just that. I'm gonna do my own thing. So what hybrids did I make to fight Team Mimic? Well, we'll learn about that in about 5 seconds. This is Team Subject, Phoenix 56 and Helldiver 352. We will first go over Phoenix 56's stats. Phoenix 56 has a height of 10 feet, a length of 15 feet, a wingspan of 20 feet, a weight of 220 pounds, a ground speed of 29 miles per hour tops, a flight speed of 27 miles per hour when cruising and 40 miles per hour at top speed, and can peck at a speed of 15 meters per second. Let's dive into Phoenix 56's contributors that allow him to reach these capabilities. First, we have the Great Blue Heron, which serves as an excellent base. It has a long, flexible neck, long legs that would be great for some locomotion with the right contributors added, a long, powerful, spear-like beak, and some dazzling colors on some specimens. Oh yeah, also look at this. Now, I calculated that peck to be like 15 meters per second, judging by the size of a great blue heron, and just, well, how fast it pecked there. That is roughly 33.5 miles per hour. Why'd I try to calculate that by myself there? It's because there's nothing that ever talks about how fast a heron can peck. There's also no studies estimating the peck force of a heron. And I'm not that great at calculating force because, well, can you blame me? I'm not a scientist. I can't just, like, make a simulation out of nowhere and calculate the force like that. I'm just a teen trying to have some fun, man. Next, we have the Vampire Bat, a gene contributor made famous by none other than Goji Center's Mortalodon Anthrophagus. Now, we have the Vampire Bat here for one reason and one reason only. It's for iron distribution. That iron distribution will be primarily on the beak and claws. And well, you can't see it on the claws because I forgot to model the iron on the claws. Love thy neighbor. Now we have the Northern Flicker. I know this seems like an unorthodox pick, but if you guys have seen Goji Center's video, then I think you can see where this is going. Boom! Long tongue makes good for harpoon. Now the reason why I chose the Northern Flicker specifically is because it has the longest tongue-to-body ratio of any woodpecker. Oh yeah, and as you can see right here, woodpeckers have their tongue wrapped around their skull. So that should decrease head trauma in the case that if Phoenix 56 misses a peck, then if he hits something like, I don't know, a tree, he's gonna be just fine. Next, we have a Chillabator, which contributes to the vocals, leg muscles, and just the size buff all around. Probably some more bulk here and there. For people wondering why I didn't just take this chance to add claws or teeth, I'll give you a few reasons why I didn't do that. First of all, I want my heron to spear things, not bite them. Second, I actually did use a Chillabator for the claws, but not frontal claws, only the sickle claw. If I tried to add claws to the arms, I don't know how it would go since I didn't have any pterosaur contributors that would allow my hybrid to actually congruently use them. Lastly, we have the scissor-tailed flycatcher, which is mostly here for cosmetic, but it can also help for agility since Phoenix 56 is quite the big boy. The literal only purpose is for the tail feathers because I like how they look. I feel that now we should move onto Helldiver 352. Helldiver 352 has a height of 3.5 feet, a length of 7 feet, a wingspan of 12 feet, a weight of 40 pounds, ground speed of 32 or more miles per hour, a flight speed of 40 miles per hour, a swim speed of 20 or less miles per hour, and a bite force of 1,600 newtons. Now let's take a look at this guy's gene contributors. First, we have the New Caledonian Crow as the base of this hybrid. It is a good base because it has good intelligence and, well, it flies. It's a bird. It also has a nice corporal build to go off of and modify. I'll be using this intelligence to my advantage with the other gene contributors coming up. Hey, would you look at that? It's our old friend, a Chillbaiter. It's here for mostly the legs and the vocals, just like last time. This hybrid actually shares a contributor with Vault, as it uses the Cunpingopterus, or more commonly referred to as the monkey dactyl for its hand dexterity. The hand dexterity is exactly what is going to contribute to the hybrid. Also, pterosaur wings that leave a lot more room for arm modification than just normal bird wings. I'll go much further than just the arms though. I'm using the crest of the monkey dactyl as well as the teeth of it. The crest because, well, it looks cool, and the teeth because I want this hybrid's bite to be grippy. Okay, and I'm deleting the channel now. Next contributor is Dilophosaurus. Now, this isn't for the reason you probably think. Some people might think it might be for the bite or for the crest, or for some added size, but no. It's actually just for the amount of fingers in the thumb. Yeah, you heard me damn right, Dilophosaurus has an opposable thumb. Next gene contributor we have is the double-crested cormorant. Here's a cool thing. It doesn't actually have waterproof feathers like most other birds. No. It actually lets its feathers absorb the water. That's why it's pretty good at swimming. Now, while this means my hybrid will be grounded for quite a bit, it can still hold its own on land pretty fine. Oh yeah, also I add the crests from this thing because, well, it looks cool, and I also add the hooked beak it has. Now, this last gene contributor might seem a bit odd to some people. Some people probably won't even see it coming. Yeah, that's damn right. Spinosaurus is one of the gene contributors. You might be wondering what for. What for, I will tell you. I added Spinosaurus in for the sail and tail paddle, the bulk on the arms, its claws, and its underwater sensory. Okay, that's cool and all, but how does this help it fight Team Mimic? Okay, hold on, cut the music. What was I talking about? Having a good strategy is a good way to win a fight. So what's the strategy? Well, I will list off what they would most likely do based off their instincts and mind. Starting off with Phoenix 56. Yeah, so this is really all he can come up with. Despite him not having a lot of attacking options, they're still very much effective. His main and most likely attacking method will be him sparing his opponent with his long beak. This beak, moving very quickly and having iron reinforcements on the tip, means that it will most likely one-shot Maggie or Vault. While Vault's defenses are pretty good, this beak will most likely pierce through them, considering that a heron's beak can already pierce through armored fish as well. That's without enhancements already. A very much unorthodox method for him to use is to spear his opponent with his tongue instead of his beak. This most likely won't be useful in his fight against Maggie and Volt, but hey, can't hurt to have, right? A more useful method is by kicking or clawing with his feet. Yeah, I know that there's supposed to be iron on the claws from Vampire Bat distribution, but yeah, I forgot mild iron on the claws. My bad. On Helldiver 352's side though, he is actually the opposite, where I can't actually fit all of his attacking options on one panel. No, you are not seeing that wrong. He is, in fact, wielding a stick. He can use his powerful claws to slash at his opponents when he doesn't have some random weapon. He is, in fact, grabbing that Microraptor's head in his foot and probably cutting it up with his toe claws. Yes, he is attempting to strangle this Hatzicopteryx right here. If you weren't paying attention the first time I said this isn't even all of his attacking options. He is incredibly smart because of the New Caledonian Crow. It's the reason why he is wielding a stick against that Turok Rex. And not Mama Scarface, this is a baby Turok Rex. If it was a grown Rex, he'd be... So here's some other attacking options that I'm gonna list off that you can probably come up with. Leaping off a tree, pouncing, and probably eating his victim alive, dragging his opponent underwater, and then drowning them to death. Dive bomb, maybe a thunderclap, probably between his claws. Gun. Oh yeah, more guns. I'm joking, he doesn't wield any guns. But you know what he can wield?
Deep within, cast aside. We're burning chaos in the wind, drifting in the ocean all alone.
Mag and Vault gangsta until they see that. Okay, so what strategy would Helldiver have against Maggie and Vault? I mean, you guys probably already know Phoenix's strategy, yeah, that. Well, his strategy would probably be pretty similar to Vault, latching onto flying opponents, and then, I think you can figure out the rest. But here's the thing, how is he gonna latch on? More specifically, onto Maggie. Well, being the intelligent creature he is, he's probably analyzed Maggie's speed, especially when stooping. Thus, he'd learn to probably ambush or, hell, maybe even try to dodge the stoop. From the moment he finds the opening, he would take the chance to latch onto Maggie and, yeah, you know what part comes next. As for Vault, it'll actually be very easy to latch on. Go away, Portfolio Recov! As I was saying, it would be very easy for Helldiver to latch onto Vault because Vault is the slower out of the two on Team Mimic. Now, it should be noted that Helldiver is only about half the weight of both Maggie and Vault. So, I think with one blow, Helldiver would be sent down into the depths of the sea. But what if he drags them down with him into the depths of the sea? Remember when I mentioned the waterproof feathers not being a thing with Helldiver? On paper, this seems like a disadvantage because, well, he's not going to be able to fly again since his feathers are waterlogged. However, that's the thing. He wants to get waterlogged. This will make him heavier, it'll allow him to dive deeper, and I think you know where I'm going with this. If he builds up enough momentum, he could leap out of the water if one of the Team Mimic members is low enough, and he's going to drag them down and suffocate them to death. But hold on, there's something you might be wondering. How the hell are Phoenix and Helldiver going to cooperate? Herons aren't really the most social animals, they're solitary. So how are they going to cooperate? Well, remember why I added a Chillabator DNA? It wasn't just for the legs. it was for the vocals and the mind. Specifically, it would affect their grouping. Having similar vocal sounds, these two would most likely be able to communicate with each other, and, well, considering that, like Maggie and Vault, they were raised together, yeah, they're not gonna have any problems. Now, I've been listing off the things that either one could do on their own, but what about if they used their teamwork? Phoenix would probably be the one trying to take the most damage and deal the most damage, since, well, he's the tankier of the two. Helldiver would probably be observing somewhere while Phoenix is doing all the fighting, and when he sees the opportunity, he swoops in and attacks. Obviously, he wouldn't be leaving Phoenix to fight for himself. He would be helping sometimes. However, he would probably use one of his janky strategies when he sees the best moment to, such as latching onto his opponents or smacking them in the face with a stick or a rock. I can imagine him just grabbing a bunch of sand and just throwing in their faces. Is the strat foolproof? Yes. Is it flawless? No. Like I said, if Helldiver gets directly hit once, he's probably going to be falling down into the depths if they're fighting above the water. Meanwhile, Phoenix over here is not really the brightest and not the fastest. His attacks are literally only going to be consisting of pecks and kicks, which, yeah, they're actually really more than effective. Phoenix is the opposite, where if he gets a direct hit on one of them, he's gonna be one-shotting them. And not to mention, his main weapon is extremely fast, so if they make one slip up against him, he is going to take them out instantly. In fact, if he times his peck right, he could skewer Maggie while she is trying to stoop at him. And again, with Vault, he can still one-shot him because, well, okay, take a look at this clip. If a normal great blue heron can already do that to a bass, you best believe Phoenix 56 can do that to Vault. Okay, honestly, I think I have finished the strategy section. I don't know what to talk about next. I don't think there's anything to talk about next, actually. So you know what, I guess this is the end of the video. So, alright, you made it. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps out a lot more than you think, to be honest. Hope you liked the video, and if there's anything I got wrong, please be free to say whatever you have to say in the comments. Good day.